Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. Welcome to cold Winnipeg. Colder than yesterday. Minus 22.5 Celsius. Got a picture from Tennessee Jim yesterday, and he snapped a photo of his thermometer, which is sitting outside on a post, I guess in his backyard. He had plus 20. I think that day, yesterday, I had minus 20 here, so what a difference. Yeah, what a difference a couple of thousand kilometers can make. Anyway, I came back to the model table here last night, and I spent quite a bit of time again. I got all the tops of all the LEDs that were sort of shining through. I got them covered up with little pieces of blue tack, painted them, got them painted black with the Stanlres, and I got my pipe that I was talking about that needed painting. I got that painted. I just used the brush. It actually goes somehow like this. It's supposed to, now this is the first time I'm trying it, but I know that this is how it's supposed to go. Something like that. And then this end here fastens into one of those modules there. I don't necessarily have the modules in the right order. I know that one is the stern section, and this one up here, this is the bow, but I might have the others mixed up. Well, we'll get them sorted out, because if I don't sort them out, they're not going to fit. Okay. No big news other than I think that by the end of today, we might have these modules all encapsulated in the outer shell, and then we can get to work on the details that go on the outside. I think there's about 35 LEDs altogether. If you include the one that's in the stern section there, the white one, and then up on top there by Corey's piece of planking, maybe you can just make it out there. There's the conning tower. There's two lights in that, so I think there's about 35 LEDs altogether. They're going to make it look nice. At least I hope so. I'm going to probably use a 200 ohm resistor to step down the voltage in the for the stern light, so it's not so bright. But the rest of them, I think I'm just going to use 3 volts. I know I was talking yesterday about seeing what a 100 ohm resistor would be like. Maybe I could do that. Yeah, it might be a good idea, but I'm not going to do it until I get everything, the wires in place and so on. I've kind of more or less figured out where the wires are going to go. They're going to be sort of hidden in behind where my fingers are kind of tucking up in there. We're not going to see that. I think at the moment that's the way they're going to go. Either that, or I have drilled a hole right here, and I have drilled a hole right here. And one of these modules is open right here, so the wires can't go there because you'll see them. I was surprised it wasn't closed off. Like, for instance, this one here, you can see we've got this part right here. Well, one of these modules that goes right here, it doesn't actually have that piece. It doesn't matter, we'll come to it. We're going to methodically go through these in order and try and drop them in place. We will now be able to figure out how far in the torpedo doors are going to have to be bent. We are also going to be able to hook up that diving plane to the I can't remember the name of that piece, and I even Googled it. It is funny how certain names, I just can't remember them. And that is one of them. It's a control, short, funny little name. Isn't that amazing? Actually, it's scary. Okay, let's get recomposed here and get at it. Yeah, I guess we'll just start. We'll just start at the front here and work our way back. I think. Yeah, I think most of these modules, except this first one and the second one, they don't have to kind of go in together. Anyway, I'm not making a whole lot of sense here. Let's just recompose and hopefully by the end of today, it's going to look like something. We might even be able to hook up all the wires and have all the lights on at the same time, but it never goes as good as you hope, right? There's always little snags that you come to. And speaking of snags, I want to be very careful when I'm moving all this around that I don't snag a wire and break it off somehow. Well, if I do, I do, but I'm going to try awful hard not to. So, okay. Hopefully I'm not going to have to take this out again. Now I can sort of see where it's supposed to lock into place. There we go. That's where it's got to go. I'm not going to glue them down. There's no need to glue them down because once we get the clear plastic shell on here, they can't move around. They're going to be locked into their various places, and yeah, there's no use messing around with a bunch of glue if I don't need to. Now, remember these pieces here? We were going to we wanted to open these up. Maybe I'll recompose. Also, we have to bring the diving plane in from the other side and hook the Now this may not slip on there because if you remember we rehydrated it and it's kind of out of shape there. So I'm probably going to have to soften this area here to get it to fit back on. And then this part here, this clevis, has to go onto the end of the push rod. Yeah, I'm just going to have to recompose here a little bit. Yeah, it's not wanting to fit on there. Maybe I need a bigger screwdriver. Okay, this is the next size up. Just trying to spread this clevis here. I suppose what I could do is I could remove one of the little pins that are on the inside of this, and it would still be effective. It doesn't actually have to operate, you know. It just, we're probably going to be gluing it all into place later anyway. Yeah, I'm just going to remove one of the little pins that's on the inside there. Okay, I don't know if I can show you this or not, but you can see there where I removed one of the pins, the lower one. Now hopefully this is still going to be able to catch. I don't want to break that off. Yeah. All right. Now, what we need to do is we're going to have to moisten this and also the other side of this part right here. And we have to get our diving plane at the right angle so that it matches up here. It may not be perfect. Yeah, I think we're probably going to be able to get it. I may not have to glue this joint right here. Now I'm just realizing that I've got another little problem going on here, and that is that if I do put this on, it's not, the diving plane is going to have to be at a downward angle, because this push rod is obviously been glued a little bit too far back. So I'm thinking that possibly I'm going to have to not have this pin in the hole. I'm going to have the whole thing out just a little bit, and then, you know, from the viewer's perspective, you're not going to know that this is not quite in the right place. Otherwise, the diving plane's not going to be straight horizontal, and I want it horizontal. Okay, this is the diving plane that we removed. It goes through the clear side, and what I did was, on this shaft right here that I'm touching right now, I cut a little bit off of here so that it can be at a bit of an angle, and it is glued in place. It's going to slowly, and I'm going to do the same thing on this one when it comes to mounting this one in place. I'll just cut a little bit off of there, and then we can sort of twist it. At least that's the plan. I think that's going to work. Okay, let's move on here. Okay, if you're looking at the clock, you can see that a lot of time has passed. And I just got emailed pages and pages and pages of stuff I got to go through here. You remember about a month ago I went for a colonoscopy, and they were trying to remove a little polyp that was possibly cancerous. Well, it turns out it is. They weren't able to remove it, so they want to do it surgically. Oh my, oh my. This is going to throw a monkey wrench into the model ship build, isn't it? I guess we're probably going to have the first time that we will not have a video. Maybe for 2 or 3 days. We'll see what happens. Okay, so what's happening here now? I was just in the process of trying to get everything sorted out here. Okay, so I got a hole right here. This is where I'm going to want to exit. If I can get these wires out, I want to be so careful not to... Okay, I think that's going to work. There we go. Now very, very gently here. Pull these out. Now this one here, it's got wires like that too. And when we put this in place, I'm not going to be able to get at that hole, so I'm going to have to start feeding those wires in like right now. And we'll join them up later. These will be the wires for the first 2 modules. Maybe I should have made the hole bigger. Okay, now no, I'm sorry I'm blocking your vision here, but I gotta be careful that I don't pinch any of the wires. And okay, that's in place. Now we don't want to pull these too tight. So what we're going to do is figure out which is positive and which is negative, and then join them together, and then these first two modules should light up. Okay, now we got to do a third one here, but the wires for it are not going to come out this hole here. They're going to be coming out a hole that's further back. So I'm just going to have to slide everything. Okay, now this is the one that I was talking about earlier that does not have something to hide what's in behind here. In other words, there's nothing between here and here. I checked the manual. I thought maybe I'd missed something, but I don't think so. So hopefully I can bring all of this out somewhere where it won't be seen. And I also got to get that pipe started, I believe, right now. Yeah, got to get this back out here. And this pipe has to go like in here and here. Okay, let's just see what we can do here. We'll just lay it loose in place. I'm gonna have to stand up here. Okay, that's locked in place there, and this pipe is, I don't think it's this one. No, this one goes, it might be this one here. I think it's supposed to go here maybe? Yeah, I think it goes on this one right here. But when? Gonna have to recompose here. Okay, now the next module, which is that one, after this, see, somehow this doesn't seem right. I guess it has to be. Okay, so I got to get the wires. Like if I put this in place, then I can't get the wires from this one through the hole. It could be that there's might have been a better way of doing this. Maybe I should have had 3 holes instead of just 2. Okay, let's just try this here very, very carefully. Once I get these all in place, I'm not going to want to be changing anything or having to remove anything. Okay, this is a real mess. I'm gonna have to push stop here, figure this out. Okay, remember way back in step 53 when we were making the rear torpedo room here, I was saying these push rods we won't put them on because I was afraid of breaking them off. Well, I was manipulating everything around trying to get the LEDs in and so on, but they have to be glued like so. Okay, and that's not going to want to hang there. I'm wondering if maybe this whole thing might do better upside down. I want to be careful not to break my wires off. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Now, if this was carefully put upside down, being careful not to yank on any wires. Yeah, that sort of stays there. Now, I know you can't see it. I'm going to have to reposition, but I'll just reposition the camera so you can see in there. Now, if I was to use some extra thin here and meld this together, do the same with the other one on the other side, and leave it for a few hours, I could probably handle this without it breaking off from the weight. I think it would support the weight, but then I won't be able to do anything on this module until that time. At least I don't think I can. You know, if it wasn't for the wiring and everything, this would be pretty easy, wouldn't it? Well, maybe not. But then we wouldn't have the lights, so can't have everything. I'm going to call her quits here for today, folks. It's 1:30 right now. I got a lot on my mind, as you can well imagine. So thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.